Today's studio guest is Martin Cotter, Senior VP Global Vertical Business Units and President of Analog Devices EMEA. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Anne. Delighted to be here.
And listen, tell us a little bit about Analog Devices today. Tell us a bit about the operation globally and then maybe a little bit about the operations here in Ireland.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, globally we have a footprint all over the world, headquartered in Boston, about 26,000 employees, and I think every product that measures in the world probably has some of our technology. We're a company that is semiconductor at our core, but if you look at where the world is taking us, it's taking us into this great world of connected everything and of data for everything. So measurement typically goes with data. We've about 130,000 customers. I won't name them. We'll wait for another time to do that. But it's actually a pretty exciting time because the world of AI and data and measurement, people are familiar with what happens with data centers, but of course a lot of where the data is born would be the type of technology that we deploy, whether it's healthcare, automotive, in many cases it's the world of communications, an ability for everything like robotics to now contribute to the next generation of localized industry. So we're pretty excited about where the world is going, and it requires this new level of data connected to measurement, connected to action.
And tell us about the operations in Ireland then and what place they have in the...
Because we're very proud of our history in Ireland. Been in Ireland since 1976. I would have been a product of that connection. Started as a CMOS team in Ireland. We have had everything here, fab, design. I started in design. If you look at the team now, it's gone from strength to strength. We were very fortunate to expand the fab starting a couple of years ago through the CHIPS Act. We now have 2,000, mostly engineers in Ireland. It's the hub for Europe. We have about 3,000 overall in Europe. And it's across all of those markets I just mentioned. Principally automotive, consumer, and industrial would be the principal teams we have. But the world of much more capable sensing deployed to the future of digital healthcare or the future of sustainability for energy is a very big topic. So health of person, health of planet would be an umbrella topic.
And I want to come back to a few of the things you mentioned there. But before that, I just want to get a little bit of a sense of yourself, Martin, if I may. You touched on it there. You know, you started back in Limerick. But tell us a little bit about your journey to here and how you started out.
Yeah, it seems a lot faster than it would have been if I was sitting back when I left NIHE as a co-op student to go to the team in Analog Devices. And it's almost like that was in 1984. I don't think I've ever really left. So as an intern, I think I came back for the summer and then worked developing and designing CMOS products and then took over some businesses. But about 10 years ago, I moved to Boston as part of the company and have done a variety of different roles since, between the overall team and different business leads and then sales and marketing and now running the business units. So it feels like, even though it's the one company, it feels like a variety of many different roles and different jobs. So yeah, I think I was always a little bit into tinkering with things, and I grew up, I was born in Estymon in County Clare, a small town. But from then, I think my dad looked after North Clare Dairies. So I suppose I was somebody who liked science and technology from the beginning. But I would never have predicted this type of journey. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think now is a time when, even though back then it was all about the speed at which the company learns, it's still the same. And the world of AI is speeding everything up. So I kind of feel like I'm just starting.
I love it. And tell me, if you were to tell me something that might surprise people about yourself.
I'm not sure exactly what would surprise people about me. I suppose I came from a family of 5 sisters. So I probably learned more from women than I did from any men in my life, except for my dad. That would have been a huge influence. Yeah, so I was kind of left to dream as a kid a lot because I had my 5 sisters that were always had their own plots, and I was off taking things apart and putting things back together with extra bits every now and again. But yeah, many things then I would have gotten into swimming and life saving, a few things like that, different times of my life. So yeah, it's always good to have a new project, right?
Agreed, 100%. And tell me, I want to come back to analog because, and again, you touched on how AI, obviously, and the whole Gen AI revolution is changing things. But tell us a bit more about the kind of the innovations that are going on at analog.
There are many. If you look at the big move in terms of AI, that's all large language models. Before AI, we would have done a lot of measurement and machine learning and predictive measurement. AI just opens up a whole new capability. So if you look at all of those industries, healthcare is obviously going to change quite a bit. The ability to predict how we're all feeling in terms of our heart rate, the heart rate variability, and then moving on to clinical types of things. You can see the world of an aging population in many places will be transformed by how we take care of measurement of people's health. And it'll get to a clinical level. So we're pretty excited about being at the forefront of that. We have some new clinical devices that measure congestive heart failure and general heart failure. Those are FDA approved. So that will be a different world of digitizing an industry. But you can see everything is becoming autonomous. So cars, which will be a great thing because I don't mind giving up driving to an autonomous, particularly if it's safer. So that will be a transformation. Industry will have robotics. So we are quite heavily invested in making the robot more knowledgeable and more autonomous to take care of lots of the tasks that people don't really want to do. And of course, the efficiency that will come from that will be the productivity, I think, will be pretty amazing. So most countries in the world have a shortage of labor. Yeah. AI will help in making autonomous a lot of the things that people don't want to do. It's not without its risks. And I think eventually people will properly take care of the benefits and just like in healthcare, take care of the benefits and take care of the risks. Yeah. So yeah, we're pretty excited about this world of data connecting to action. I think it is another wave that's happening and accelerating way beyond what I would have imagined at the beginning. So I think this is a very unique time.
Yeah, it is. There's no question about it. And coming back then to Ireland, in IDA or our partners on the series, tell us a little bit about the relationship with IDA. You've been here, did you say, how many years are you here in Ireland, Donald?
We're here since 1976.
76, wow, yeah. Okay. So tell us a bit about the relationship with IDA and what it is.
The IDA is pretty unique. They really are, we regard them as a very close partner. They know more about what we do in Ireland than most of our customers do, and most even of anyone else in terms of a partnership. So we regard them as somebody we bounce ideas off, and generally we come back then and bring forward an investment. So most recent one was part of the important projects of common European interest, the IPSI, which was a precursor to CHIPS Act, and we invested 630 million euros, which of course is renewing everything we do for probably another 20 years. So we're a very long-term investment company, but we're fortunate to have somebody who understands what we're about, and that's the team in the IDA. So we seem to have access to very high-level support, Michael Lohan all the way down through the team. And of course that goes to government, right? It goes to help with our investments. When you look at it, that's been true, I think, uniquely since 1976. It's part of why we invested so much in the country. And at many, many times during this, we've invested in a Catalyst Center, which is an accelerator. Our customers come and work on projects with us, 100,000 square feet of space between us and many of the big companies globally. So they will put their engineers with our engineers on a particular problem. It could be, for example, battery management systems. We've got a pretty big team, wireless battery management systems, wired battery management systems, and then how to make the future of EVs safer, predicting any issues that might be there with lifetime or with safety of those systems. So you can see that we solve problems. We're all about picking the best problems. So together we can do much better than separately. But we would see the IDA supporting not only us, but maybe in many cases our ecosystem partner that we work with. So it's a little bit unique. And I think we're moving to this new phase of ecosystem investment together with help from the IDA, which we're very excited about. So that's energy. I think I talked about the big themes already. If you look at health of planet, sustainability is a very big theme. Energy is a huge, huge new wave of efficiency. And we're very delighted to invest on European projects together with very large energy companies, all the big names. You've got Siemens, Schneider, ABB, Eaton, all of those are part of this ecosystem.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And they're all part of the IDA.
And you're talking about, fairly, complex projects here and engineers and pretty brilliant people you need. How do you manage the talent side of it here in Ireland, and how do you find it?
Well, talent is everything. Right?
Yeah.
And we're very much an innovation-based company. I mean, everything we do, we invest a very high percentage of R&D consistently. So it's all about quality. And we're very happy to have renewed some of the ability to learn with residency-based programs. So we invested with some partner companies like Stripe in the Immersive Software engineering investment in UL. I'm originally from UL. That's not why we invested, but it turns out I am. And recently we've just launched this iBio together with Eli Lilly. Similarly, it's a residency-based master's, 4 years. The students, unfortunately, don't get summer holidays, not that much. They do programs instead. But they would have maybe 5 sessions working with companies during that 4 years. So we're very happy with the quality, and it's all about the quality. Talent is everything. And when you get to the new world, what the phrase is, it's not that AI will put you out of a job, it's somebody who knows AI will put you out of a job. So we want to combine the domain discipline of all the businesses we have, experts in each domain, together with future capabilities like AI. That's just another tool, but we want to deploy it to solve the toughest problems. So that's what we're excited about, and we see it transforming healthcare, sustainability and how we measure and get more efficient, autonomous everything, robotics and everything else that might go with that, transportation. So, it's very interesting that this is happening in Ireland between ourselves and many, many connected companies. It's a real ecosystem that's a multiplier. The network is everything, and talent is everything.
Yeah, I'm delighted you talked about that, because sometimes I think people don't realise what goes on down there. It's quite remarkable, all the companies working together.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because we're pretty open about people coming in and working with us. But I don't think people fully realise just how ambitious success has made companies in Ireland. Of course, it's a global influence. It's not, the markets are global. But I think Ireland is in a position of strength to spring into the next wave of what's happening. And that's what we have to do.
I think that's a lovely positive point to end on. It just remains to say thank you so much. Welcome
Thank you,
back
Anne.
to Ireland, and thanks so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you. Anytime.